Anyways, alright guys, hello YouTube fans, this is TheSkullKlown. I'm here to talk about spoilers, by the way, spoilers. It will be on the title. So, there is spoilers. I will say spoilers, again, spoilers. There is spoilers. I was not going to do spoilers, but to be quite honest with you, I cannot talk about this movie without spoilers. So, if you want to watch somebody else without spoilers, go ahead, because I'm going to do spoilers. Maybe not like crazy spoilers, but enough that enough to you be like, okay, you're all saying spoilers. All right, so there, that's all I need to say right now. So in three, two, one. This movie, Godzilla, minus one. This movie is fucking really good. Now, this movie is good. Again, going back to what like I put in my community page here on my channel. It does remind me of Godzilla 1985 slash 1984 and Godzilla slash Godzilla Returns. I remember that watching that movie. I have that movie on DVD. When I first watched it, I actually appreciated more of the military fighting Godzilla and stuff like that because I really didn't like it as a kid, and right now I'm still like with. I mean, not with it now, but back then I was like kind of with it basically. But then once I saw that movie, I was just like, I can probably watch Godzilla fight the military anytime I want now. You know, I don't know. It's just that movie changed a lot, and then watching it here is just made me respect it more to the point I'm just like, see, you see, if I didn't respect it back then, I probably wouldn't have appreciated how this movie was basically, and the acting in this movie is really good. It is. The acting in this movie is really good. You have an actor you have a character that basically is supposed to kamikaze himself, and he doesn't. He doesn't. He backs off, and a lot of people look at him different and stuff like that. Now, in my opinion, I feel like there should have been a little bit more with that, but they didn't have to. For what they did was fine because they had other things to focus on. To be quite honest with you, the relationship between the main character and the main heroine, to be quite honest with you, and the child that they need to freaking protect and shit like that and take care of. That right there is really good. To be quite honest with you, it's not even that bad at all. It's really actually pretty good. It really is, and you feel sorry for a lot of things that happen to these people, man. And not to say you don't see that in other Godzilla movies, like in GMK for kind of loud when Godzilla swings his tail on in the hospital building and destroys that girl in the freaking hospital bed and shit like that. But there when you see it, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. When you see it here, you're like, holy shit. It's not like it hasn't happened before in the Godzilla series, obviously like that. Even in the first movie, when shit like that happens, you'd be like, oh shit, you know. So this movie obviously is paying a lot of homage to the original Godzilla movie, and rightfully so because the original Godzilla movie is a classic. I still haven't watched the American version. I tried to watch the American version. I fell asleep. Nothing against Raymond Bond or anything like that. It's just I fell asleep mainly because I was watching the Japanese version, then the English version back to back. So maybe that's why I fell asleep. So one day I do need to watch the English version, and I do own that version. But eventually I will talk about it eventually. But I bought my Godzilla T-shirt, this is actually one of my favorite designs of Godzilla. You know, this is the first time I got introduced Godzilla when he fought Mothra. Yeah, the first time I ever saw Godzilla was Mothra versus Godzilla. That was my very first movie. That was my very first movie. And then ever since then, like I've saw like mostly all the '60s Godzilla movies. The only thing I haven't watched is literally from the '60s era is Revenge of Godzilla and Son of Godzilla. You know, but I've seen reviews about it anyway, so I'm just like I don't think I'm missing out. You know, um, I'll say this from what I'm seeing from Son of Godzilla, it looks cheesy fun. Revenge of Godzilla, it just looks like they did a cash in just to do shit, just to get a quick buck, and they didn't care. You know, that's just me. You know, so this movie does take place during World War II, and then literally, and then later after that. So a lot of things happen in this movie. You even got some characters that are trying to even stop. You know, you even have some of these characters that are trying to stop Godzilla to a certain point. And what happens to Godzilla when they try to do when they first okay. Let me say this right now. You know how there was rumors that there was two Godzillas in here? They're not wrong, but it's still the same Godzilla. Spoilers, obviously, I already said that earlier. It's the same Godzilla, but when you see him, it looks like it looks like a mixture of Zillosaurus and him being already Godzilla, just not nuked again to make him what he is right now, because that's what's the point. And then you see him nuke again in this movie, and then he evolves to what you see in the whole movie, basically. And it's great because when you see him in the beginning, he's not really using his atomic breath. He doesn't have his atomic breath in the beginning of the movie. They don't show him with his atomic breath. He could have used his atomic breath, but he doesn't use it. All he does to attack is just stomp and yeah. I never saw Godzilla do that before. He literally grabbed somebody and threw the motherfucker. You think he was going to eat him, but he doesn't, because he doesn't feed off of people. He feeds off of radiation. That's how he eats. That's how he eats. And that's cool that there's, in a way, two forms of Godzilla in this movie. And that's a little homage to Shin Godzilla and other Godzilla properties that have done that already, basically. But Shin Godzilla kind of did it first. But there you go. We have two Godzillas for the price of one. And seeing him early in that movie, when you see him in the beginning, when they shoot up the light on him and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, cool. Holy shit. Because when I first saw him, I'm like, he looks kind of small. Holy kid, this is like Junior Godzilla here or something like that. That's what Junior would have looked like if he was in this universe, basically. If you really think of a Junior Godzilla, that's where he would have looked like right there in the beginning of the movie. So, and he looks adorable. He does. Is that just me? He looks adorable. And I want to put him in my pocket. That's just me in the beginning. I'm not saying it's not horrific or horrifying in the beginning. It's not. But seeing it is just watching him is just really cool. It's just fascinating because you watch it, and that they did a really good job with that, though. They really did. Because I watched so many Godzilla movies, but in this one, they really pushed the factor that you like in awe watching this atomic monster just destroying shit. You're not even like upset about it. You're not even crying at these. I mean, you could, and that's fine. I'm not saying I didn't feel bad about these soldiers dying or anything like that. I didn't say that, because when the characters point that shit out too, and one of the characters is sad too, that you see him later on in the movie too, because he joins with the main character. You fear for him too. He's like, you could have shot him. You could have shot him, but you didn't, and they all died. And I'm like, oh god. It's just, it's really good. It's really good. It's really, really good, to be quite honest with you guys. The acting in this movie is just so good. And I did give it an 8 out of 10. More I think about it now, I think I probably should give it a 9. It is that good, to be quite honest with you. The more I think about it now, after I just got out of the movie theater and just refreshing it right now and just thinking about it, I'm just like, holy shit, this movie is basically, it is going to be one of the classics. And when I was on the bus going to my mom's house to help with my sister's stuff and everything like that, when I was on the bus, I was just thinking, maybe it won't be my top 5 Godzilla movies or something like that. Because I was just thinking my top 5 Godzilla movies and stuff like that on the way. And then the more I'm thinking about it now, as long as, since the movie's refreshing my mind, dawning on me and stuff like that, I am realizing that this is a really, really good Godzilla movie that's probably going to be the top 3 Godzilla movies for people, in my opinion. That's probably going to be their top 3 or top 5. For me, will it will? As of right now, maybe no. I don't know. Maybe over time I will say yes. But right now, I'm still leaning in between of like, yes, no, I don't know. Because there's other Godzilla movies I really like. My top 5 Godzilla movies are Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Mainly because I grew up watching that movie. Mothra vs. Godzilla, mainly because that's my first Godzilla movie I got introduced to. And what is it? What was the other one? I'm trying to think of the other one before I forget. Damn it, I don't want to pause that long. So I got Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, then Mothra versus Godzilla, and what was it? What was the other one? Huh? What was the other one? I know one is GMK. GMK is one of them. I do know that one. Because why wouldn't you have GMK on that one? You know? Oh, and okay, the fourth one is Godzilla 1985, then GMK, and then the last one. Oh, the original, obviously. There we go. Yeah. Duh. And the original. There we go. I knew the original was on there too. I was just like thinking of the other ones. So yeah, that's my top 5 Godzilla movies. To be quite honest with you, again, would that change over time? Sure, most likely. When when I'm thinking of more and more about this movie, and when the main character takes in a child into his life, you know, like it just he's realizing that this woman that has the child is not even the mom at all, and he's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, even I was just like, oh shit, she actually grabbed this child and such shit like that. And in the beginning, she gives him the child, and he's like holding her and shit like that for like who knows how long. And the child is not even doing anything. Like, she's just quiet, you know, just looking at him like this. And then he puts him down on a bench, and he's about to walk away, and he turns around, and he's just like, what am I doing? and then eventually he walks, and she's like, oh, finally, you moved. I'm just like, this woman, there is some funny humor in this movie. There really is. This movie made me laugh a couple of times. It really did. This movie made me laugh a couple of times. It was just really funny. And it had and it kind of paid homage a little bit to anime a little bit, because there was a part in one scene that just reminds you of anime, to the point I was just like, you guys just paid a reference to one anime that I cannot fucking remember right now. And it bothers me, because I feel like they did pay homage to one anime for some reason in one scene. It was like Quick and Get Out type of scene, and I was just like, was that a reference? You know, so that's just me. I think I watched too much anime. That's because I'm always watching it with my friend and shit like that, so maybe it's that. So, and okay, there's a scene in this movie when they're dropping what is it, landmines in the water. Mainly because they need to get rid of that, because it's just left over from the wall. So I love details like that, explaining what's the aftermath after World War II. Was there like some pickups that you guys just left all of that shit behind or some shit like that? I'm glad they actually point that shit out, to be quite honest with you, because some movies don't fucking do that sometimes, and you always wonder, are you just gonna leave that there? It's like, well, it's America. Why not? You know. Who knows? Maybe they would, you know? So, while they're doing that, they're talking about Godzilla and everything like that. And he notices some fishes that are floating. At first, when I first saw those fishes floating in the beginning of the movie, I'm like, are those eyeballs? They just look like freaking eyeballs. But no, they're fish. Good thing the character pointed out, so I can look at them better. When I was literally watching the movie, I'm like, oh, they're all fish. Why do they look like eyeballs? In one scene, they look like eyeballs. Now they look like fish. The hell am I looking at here? That's just me. That was just me when I was watching it. It's just nothing else. So, eventually, you start hearing Godzilla. And you see his tail fin and everything like that. His dorsal plate. Sorry, his tail fin. His dorsal plates. And all of a sudden, basically, they start dropping these freaking landmines in the water, start blowing his shit up. There's even a freaking gun on their boat, and they start shooting at him like, ah! The guy, at first the guy is nervous, the main character is nervous, man, because he has trauma, man. It really is, it's trauma, and he doesn't want to die, to be quite honest with you. He just wants to live, basically. He just wants to live, and you know, he just wants to live and create a better future and stuff like that. That's really it. And then when he gets this little girl that he has to raise as his daughter at this point, it's just great, you know. And the woman too that has to take care of the daughter too. I mean, the little girl. Look at that. They're already a family at that point, to be quite honest with you. And it is so well done. To be quite honest with you, in my opinion, she is more of a hero than he is, in my opinion. That is just me. That's just me. All right. Seriously, we want to talk about some main characters here. Her, she is fucking good too. She's great. She's like the main heroine is just perfectionally good. To be quite honest with you, she is. She's adorable, and she, you know, and then there's some scenes that I don't want to spoil, but she's just really adorable, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, are you seriously, dude? Like, she is literally begging right now, and all you can do is literally walk away, and I'm just like, I get it, but good God, you guys are here for a reason, you know. This kid is here for a reason, you know, and then he had almost like a scene like that because the main character was so basically disheartened of like what happened. Like he felt like everything was his fault. You know, like the stuff that happened around his home, what happened to his family and stuff like that. What happened to the people that he was supposed to gun down when Godzilla came and shit like that. Well, not the people he was supposed to gun down. The Godzilla he was supposed to gun down Godzilla to save the other guys. Sorry, I messed that up there. I hope you enjoyed my fuck up. So all this trauma, he kept getting all this trauma and trauma and trauma, which is just just crazy. You actually feel sorry for the dude, you know. He really just like he knows he wants to live, but at the same time he knows that he has to do something because anyway he even says it in this movie. The war is not over because all of the shit that happened right after it. He feels like it's not over just because he didn't. Not because what happened right afterwards, but he felt like he didn't do his duty, basically, of what he was supposed to do as a kamikaze pilot. You know? That shit is crazy when you think about it, you know? And I love that they go into it a little bit, you know? And when they do, it really, it makes you really think about how, you know, it really does make you think how these, you know, back in fucking World War II, to be quite honest with you. This is what this movie really does sometimes, and it's really good. It's a beautiful period piece, obviously. It just has a giant monster, you know, and it's Godzilla. You know, it could have been any other monster, to be quite honest with you, but it had to be Godzilla. To be quite honest with you, I am dead serious. You could have thrown any monster in this movie, and it would have been well done. But you put Godzilla in it, and it's perfect. It's perfect. To be quite honest with you. You could put any monster in this movie, to be quite honest. I know some people might say that, most people will be like, oh, that's a bad thing. But I think that's a compliment. You could put any monster in here, and it will be fine. You could put King Kong in here, and it will be fine. To be quite honest, to be quite honest with you, when you first see Godzilla, he's almost the size of the original King Kong. Not literally almost the same size as the original King Kong, but you feel like if they were up to scare the original and him, you'd be like, okay, I could see them fight like that. Oh, okay. You know, I think it was like 30 meters or some shit like that. Or he wasn't 50 meters. I don't think so. I don't think he was 50 meters. I doubt it. I doubt he was 30 meters. He had to, I doubt he was 50 meters. He had to be 30 meters in the beginning of the movie. He had to be. And then he became like, what, like maybe 50 or 100 meters by the at the end of the movie. And once he gets nuked again. Yeah, Godzilla gets nuked again, man. And it shows, the Godzilla, in this movie is so awesome. He's so awesome. When they're, again, going back, when they're shooting at him, he's going like this and everything like that, like just going after them, and they put a fucking bomb in his mouth and it explodes. I saw that and I'm like, holy shit. But before I get back to that, they were literally outside waiting for Godzilla to come because obviously there were other people going to come to take Godzilla down, and that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened. They blew his face up. They blew Godzilla's face up, and I'm like, holy shit! And then you see Godzilla like this on the fucking seafloor, on the sea, just floating like that, dead. And I'm over here like, all of this is just gone. All of this is just gone. I told you there'll be spoilers. All of this was just gone, guys. I was just like, if you wanted to feel sorry by anybody else, you kind of feel sorry for Godzilla too. Because when you really think about it, did he really ask for this? For what he became? Hell no, man. That's the tragic. That's one of the reasons why I love Shin Godzilla so much. Okay? Because Shin Godzilla was telling that type of story too. You know? And this one did it great, man. This one did it so great, man. It really did. I love Shin Godzilla. I really do. I would never see the hate for Shin Godzilla. I think people that hate on Shin Godzilla just hate Evangelion. And I'm not even a big fan of Evangelion. I've seen stuff like that. And I've seen the anime and all that because my friend watched it. And it's fine. I don't hate it. But good God, guys. Like, if you have a problem that much of it, guess what? You don't have to watch it. News to me. You know? Come on, guys. But I'm a Godzilla fan. Okay. But, guys, for real. Some of you guys don't even want to read the Marvel comic books, basically. You know, when the Marvel characters fight Godzilla, you guys don't want to see that one. Oh, care about the Hanna-Barbera one. Oh, they don't count. And I'm over here like, the fuck's wrong with you? If they're not signed by Toho or anything like that, it's not, I don't care, it's not canon. And I'm over here, shut the fuck up. I'm over here, who cares? Who cares? At that point, to me, you're not a fan, man. You're not enjoying it. You too into it to the point that I'm just like, something's wrong with you. Alright? And I get it, you want to make it like a religion type shit. Motherfucker. Don't ask me about that. But you taking it way to the point that I'm just like, I don't take you seriously as a person. I don't at that point. I don't take you seriously as a person. You're a joke to me. You're a joke. You're a joke as a person, and you're a joke as a freaking human being. Seriously, you're just a joke as a being and a human being, basically. You're just a joke at that point, in my opinion. Seriously, you could disagree. That's fine. But there should be no reason for that type of nonsense, in my opinion. I'm dead serious. That's so immature, in my opinion. That's so fucking immature. That's just me, man. So continuing on with this movie. This movie keeps going on. There's a freaking ship. There's a freaking. I was gonna say spaceship. No, it's a sea ship, a sea army tank ship, basically. That shoots at Godzilla and shit like that, blasting him and shit like that. And Godzilla's going like that, you know. He's getting hit and shit like that. And then, but he's attacking the ship also, and he's trying to break it and everything like that. And the thing is too, Godzilla has like a spike that points out like this. The reason I mention that is because the toy for Godzilla X Sqawn has a freaking spike on his too. These guys saw the movie first before we did. And in the trailer, if you watch Godzilla X Sqawn, Godzilla doesn't have that spike. And some toys either have the color of the spike or have the spike that just is the color of Godzilla's texture. Meaning that they were gonna remove it. So I don't know what they're doing with that design, but yeah, Godzilla has it here in this movie. He has a little spike here, you know. So that's pretty cool. When I noticed it, I was just like, oh shit, you know. I'm like, these motherfuckers saw this movie before us, did they? Huh? Motherfuckers, you know. So okay, oh my god, when Godzilla's in the city. Okay, they're blasting Godzilla and everything like that. Let me get to the great part, the part that I wanted to mention that I almost forgot. So, okay, they're in the water, right? They're in the water, and the ship is shooting at Godzilla and everything like that, and then Godzilla goes down in the seafloor basically, and all you see is bright blue, and I'm over here like, oh my god, holy shit! I was expecting the ship to literally break like you see in Godzilla vs. Kong when Godzilla broke that carrier basically and it just blew it up like that. I was expecting that type of blast. What I got is what I always wanted to get in a Godzilla movie. Remember that one time when I pointed out, wouldn't it be cool if Godzilla did a nuclear breath and when it struck, it did a nuclear explosion? They did it here. They did it here, and I could not be happier. That ship, that boat went like, and I'm like, it. Oh my god, I was in shock when I saw that in the theater. Big screen and everything like that, loudspeakers as hell. I was like, I couldn't believe that shit. That shit was awesome. That was awesome. Everyone in that ship died. They all died. They all died. They all got disintegrated. They all got disintegrated. Even the people in the boat with the main character, they were like, I'm like, we're all the same. But the people in the theater thought the same shit too, because I was just chilling, hanging out all by myself, just chilling, feeling like a kid again, you know, being all by myself, like watching these Godzilla movies back in the day when you just put the VHS on, put that shit in, and you just watching it, you know? That's how I felt like when I was watching it all by myself in the theater. I don't mind watching movies all by myself. Some people think that's depressing or some shit. And I'm like, are you good? Are you good? I think that's a you problem. That's a you problem, you know? So, that shit was great. And then Godzilla comes to the city, right? Godzilla goes to the city, and he destroys that shit like nothing. He's stomping. He destroys that traditional freaking train, which I love. I always love that train scene. Loved it in Shin. Loved it in the original Godzilla. Loved it in 1985/84, aka The Return of Godzilla. Sorry. Stop doing that. Well, I have to, just in case some people don't know. That's just the type of YouTuber I am, I guess, right? But it's that right there, man. That train scene would never get old for me. That train scene would never get old for me. It would never get old for me. How could I get sick and tired of that train scene? It's iconic as all hell. And there's a reason why they keep doing it. It's so good. You know, it really is. And they always have the different versions of it. With Shin Godzilla, they used it to literally blast them and everything like that. Like, and Shin Godzilla is like, ah, you know, basically. I think that was for them to wake him up and stuff like that. It was just sending it, hitting him so he can get knocked down and put the liquid nitrogen inside of him. So that was a cool plan, how they stopped him and everything like that. That was really cool. In this movie, how they stopped him, oh, that is pretty cool how they stopped him in this movie. In this movie, how they stopped him, oh, it's something. Should I even spoil it? Maybe not. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil what they do to my G-Man, basically. I won't spoil you that because it is really good. It is. It's pretty good at the end. I won't even spoil the ending or anything like that, or what leads up to the ending after that, to be quite honest with you. So overall, this is a great movie. This is a must-have movie to watch this year. And closing in with, I do want to say this too. Closing in with the final statement of me talking about Godzilla in the city. Again, going back, he annihilates it and everything like that. He even does the nuclear breath, and you see his tail spiking and everything going up, and then he just does it, and then boom, and then you see the reaction of the people getting flew over and everything like that. And I'm just like, holy shit! I'm not gonna spoil anything else that when the main characters are going through. I'm not gonna spoil that either. But what happens there, I'm just like, holy shit, and everything like that. So, yeah. And then Godzilla stomps off and leaves and shit like that. Then we get that big climax when everyone's getting prepared to what they should do for Godzilla, and they have everything planned to what they want to do. They want to basically bring him down way down to the bottom floor of the sea, basically, and everything like that. But and I will say to be continue for that, because you guys should see that part after that. I'm not even going to mention the aftermath once they come out with that plan. I'm not going to say something. I'm not going to say anything else after that, because that is worth you guys watching, or worth getting excited about. Because in my opinion, I feel like that should not be spoiled. Maybe later on I'll spoil it in the future, but in my opinion, I feel like that should not be spoiled, because that's too much fun to spoil. Because you get great moments with the characters. You even got a freaking awesome moment when Godzilla shows up and everything like that, and you see how when they make the plan go out and everything like that. It's just so great and everything like that. It really is. I love when they do basically how the plan walks out and everything like that, and then you get like another moment with another main character, and people are just like, and I'm just like, yeah, oh man. And then there's one part that's just you think something happens to a character, and then you're like, oh, okay. And then something else happens to a main character too that you thought happened to that character, and then it doesn't, and you're like, you could have left it, to be honest. In my opinion, you could have left it to have that more impact. But I see why. I see why you did that for that character. I see why. Cause you like the character too much, writers. You do. You like them too much, writers. And we did too when we were watching this movie. So I can see why you did that for that character. So, and then also I think there's a reference to Mothra. I swear there's a reference to Mothra because there's a part in the scene when you see the main one of the main heroines, basically, you see something on her, and I don't know, I couldn't see it that right. I could be gone, but there was just something on her that you were like, is that a Mothra? Is that not? I'm not saying it's a Mothra symbol. I'm just saying that does that look like a butterfly? It just looks like a butterfly. Or Mothra. Again, there was so many hints when it was ending for another sequel. In my opinion, it sounds like Toho wants to bring Mothra again, and I'm all for it. I could be wrong that they were hinting Mothra at the end when there was a part of the scene with the two main characters. I won't spoil you that, but I'm just saying that I think there's a Mothra reference right there. I'm just saying that right now. Okay, I could be gone. Maybe something happened with the character that it's going to explain another thing because something happened to that other character in another scene. That's the only thing I can say without going to deep spoilers, So overall, I highly recommend Godzilla -1. It is worthy of your watch. It is the best. I've seen a lot of movies this year. I mean, for crying out loud, I saw the new Flash movie. I did saw a trailer for that new Aquaman movie in the theaters when they were doing previews and stuff like that. That trailer looks pretty good. To be quite honest with you, I'm intrigued for Aquaman 2. To be quite honest with you, I don't know. I like Aquaman 1, and I like the character Aquaman right now. He's the only DC character that's doing really good right now, and I'm like, you cannot fuck this up, guys. If you fuck this up, that's it. You normal verse that you could have done is now gone. Now you need to start the whole shit over again. But I'm not getting I'm not getting too deep into that. That is DC's fault, aka Warner Brothers. That's their fault. That's fucking their fault. And it's so sad. It's so sad. It really is so sad. Alright? And when this movie does come out, most likely Warner Brothers is gonna produce it for DVD and everything like that. So because there was a lot of Warner Brothers teaser trailers when I was watching the previews. So I was just like, huh. And there's gonna be like a new Blumhouse movie also called Imaginary. It looks like I don't want to say a Chucky ripoff. It looks like Chucky mixed with. Why do I want to say Saw? Nah, it's not that. Chucky mixed with. Chucky mixed with The Exorcist? I don't know. A possessed. I don't know. I'm just making that shit up right there. I think there's another trailer too that was pretty good, but I can't remember that one. I can't remember the name for that trailer. So, anyways, I just wanted to point out what type of trailers that they showed when I was watching this movie. So overall, that's it. Watch this movie, guys. I give this movie. Might as well. Yeah, I'm giving this movie right now a 9 out of 10. Yeah, since I'm talking about it and everything like that. Yeah, it's a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 movie. It is. Will I get the DVD and everything when it comes out? Oh, hell yeah. The fuck is wrong with you? Okay? Seriously. Seriously. So I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and be safe. Oh, and I want to mention one thing before I do end this video. I've been showing my mom the Avengers stuff, the Marvel stuff actually. So the first thing that I showed her, this is why I kind of recommend showing casual people if they haven't watched this universe yet. This is what I would do. This is, you could do whatever you want, and that's fine. You don't have to do what I do, but this is what I probably should recommend. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, the Avengers 1 and 2, that means the original, and obviously the original Avenger, and obviously Ultron. And let's see, and then it's what's it, Civil War. Then it is Ragnarok. Then Infinity War, then Endgame, and then you can do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Then after that, you can watch what the fuck you want. That's what I would have done. That's my timeline. That's what I would have done. That's just me. You can insert whatever you want there if you wanted to. So, oh, by the way, this video is sponsored by The Mouse. Really? No. They don't pay me as much because I'm not qualified. See you guys and be safe.